Bitcoin goes up, Bitcoin goes down, but lately a lot of traders are warning that the prices will go lower. And this has resulted in a lot of people selling at a loss. Is it because they plan to buy back at lower prices? Unfortunately, that's probably not the case. But you want to know who is buying and is interested in continuing to buy? Blackrock. And all these other institutional investors that have recently been approved to launch their Bitcoin spot ETFs. Welcome to Crypto Tips. We have more million-dollar Bitcoin price predictions. We have one country giving up on their own CBDC type cryptocurrency, and we now know the address of one huge institutional player in the Bitcoin ETF game. So let's get into it. For those of you who are new to this channel, welcome. And let me introduce you and reintroduce anyone who may have forgotten that we at this channel love to have the long-term perspective. We focus on the long game, especially when Bitcoin is involved. That is often in contradiction with what a lot of day traders like to put out, and that is very short-term, narrow-sighted price predictions for Bitcoin. And now recently, of course, a lot of them are calling for lowers in even in the mid $35,000 range. We will see if that happens. Will you be buying at that range? If it does, maybe we'll start dollar cost averaging again. For those of you who are in the CT club, you know that Toby and I were quite satisfied with our dollar cost averaging with Bitcoin over the past year. And once it hit that $40,000 mark, we decided to ease off on dollar cost averaging into Bitcoin and focusing on other opportunities. If it dips lower, if it goes to the $30,000 range or the $12,000 range, which a lot of traders on Binance are actually readjusting those levels. They're taking their orders out at the really low levels and moving them up. They just don't think that they're going to be buying realistically at the really low levels of Bitcoin anymore. And I think they're onto something. But then we hear from people like Samson Mao, who are now calling for a price prediction of $1 million per Bitcoin in days or weeks following if and when Bitcoin really sees a supply crunch. And this is coming out from information of the level of Bitcoin that Blackrock has been accumulating since they've launched is basically enough to wipe out 13 days worth of Bitcoin emissions. Bitcoin is at this point, at this rate, producing the network, the miners are producing around 900 Bitcoin per day. And Blackrock has purchased roughly 11,500 Bitcoin. Again, that calculates to about 13 days worth of the emission of newly created Bitcoin. And that's just the start. If they continue and the other institutions continue to be purchasing at this rate, they're going to be having to dip into not only the miners, not only the over-the-counter trade options that they have, they're going to have to go into the public markets. And that is sooner or later going to drive the price upward, because as demand rises and as it becomes blatantly obvious that the supply is decreasing, becoming less and less available, the price is going to go up. As the price goes up, however, will it be tempting a lot more people to put their Bitcoin up for sale on exchanges? That remains to be seen. I think that's probably going to happen. But again, is it going to be happening at the rate and consistency that these institutions are going to need to buy these Bitcoins to seed their ETFs? Now, this emission rate of Bitcoin of 900 Bitcoin mined per day, that's at the current rate. In April 2024, in about 3 months or less, this is going to be cut in half. Currently, the emission rate of Bitcoin is 6.25 Bitcoin per block that is mined. That's newly created Bitcoin when a mine is blocked. In April, at the time of the Bitcoin halving to happen, we are going to see an emission rate of Bitcoin drop in half to 3.125 Bitcoin per block mined. So if BlackRock continues to buy at this rate, they're not going to be buying 13 days worth of Bitcoin. They're going to be buying 26 days worth of Bitcoin in a chunk of purchasing extravaganza from BlackRock. And here's another thing I want to talk about with Bitcoin specifically. It's pseudo-anonymous, right? It is publicly verifiable. It is publicly auditable. because of the beauty of blockchain technology and it being a public blockchain to boot. This is what makes it markedly different from a gold ETF. The Bitcoin ETF, we get to see what these guys are actually up to. Now, we know that BlackRock and the vast majority, if not all of these Bitcoin spot ETFs have used Coinbase as their Bitcoin custodian. Then all we got to do is look at the Bitcoin hot wallet that is created for institutional investors. And through that, we can identify pretty confidently which wallet is BlackRock's. There is an address that has been identified as holding 227.902 yada 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 Bitcoin. It was originally funded on January 5th, and this is in line with BlackRock's prospectus of their planned Bitcoin buys. Furthermore, this was funded through the Coinbase hot wallet, which is also identified. I'm going to provide links to the Coinbase hot wallet and the wallet that is assumed to be associated with the BlackRock's ETF. Those will be down below in the video description as wallets for you to watch the activity of what funds are coming into and out of these wallets, where are they going, what amount of Bitcoin is being moved. Because currently that Coinbase hot wallet has moved successfully over $2 billion worth of Bitcoin. You gotta love the blockchain technology. Now, not all blockchain technology is created equal. You guys remember in 2018 when Venezuela tried to launch the Petro? It was their cryptocurrency backed by oil that they were trying to get a lot of popularity with. They have officially closed it down. They have quit the Petro. And this is due to basically a lack of a couple things, a lack of interest in general, a lack of regulatory approval, and basically making it legal, making it clearly legal in Venezuela. It was a failed cryptocurrency attempt by a government. Is this what we can expect to see from other governments trying to create their own cryptocurrencies? I think so. I have yet to read any government-issued cryptocurrency that is being welcomed with open arms by their citizenry. A lot of people are skeptical, and rightfully so, and it makes me have just a little bit more faith in the masses. So will this be an example of how future governments will learn and try to improve upon and actually successfully launch a cryptocurrency? We've yet to see one, but there are attempts being made around the world at these government-issued cryptocurrencies. So we're going to keep you guys updated on those as well. Anyway, if you found this video to be informative, I appreciate it if you hit like, hit subscribe. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye, guys.